Hello everyone and welcome to my morning report analysis videos on Thursday the 26th of April. Well, we have a bit of a consolidation on the markets today. We've got the ECB that announces monetary policy later on this afternoon at 12:45, given the rate decision, and then we've got the press conference from Mario Draghi at 1:30. Now, the impact of this is basically that the markets have consolidated a touch. What we have had recently, although I've just clicked on Sterling, and Sterling is mildly underperforming after sort of possibly attributed to a report that suggested the EU are a little bit concerned about the lack of experience that the UK has in terms of trade negotiations. But generally speaking, markets are pretty much flat across equities and forex as well. Now, this is sort of coming as I said, ahead of the ECB, but the dollar has remained strong in the last few days, pulling sharply higher, breaking out above 91 figure on the dollar index, breaking that downtrend. This looks like to be a recovery play now, doesn't it, on the dollar? And continued moves higher on the yield on the 10-year Treasury will, I think, be the driver of that now. It's got 304 at the top left-hand corner here. That's the level that the market reached back in 2014. Before we saw the Treasury yield falling away. Now, where is it? Okay, let me show you another chart. 2014, before we saw the 10-year Treasury falling back. Now, that is a key level. This is daily close, but intraday 304 was the high in 2014. So breaking up above that would certainly be a key move on the Treasury yield, and what we do have is yield differentials now back in play as a key driver of markets, and certainly that is a factor affecting dollar yen, for example. Now, as I said, ECB today. We've got Mario Draghi at 12:40. Mario Draghi at 1:30, but 12:45 we've got the rates decision. No change expected on rates, and it'll be interesting to see how Mario Draghi reflects this in his press conference later on at 1:30. He's obviously going to get some questions surrounding the sort of recent weakness in Eurozone data, how that affects the outlook for monetary policy coming forward, as the ECB has been expected to sort of give some sort of forward guidance in June surrounding the end of the APP program. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects him. Likely to be that he'll sort of try and, as much as possible, just avert questions, I think. Not really say a great deal, try and sit on his hands. Patience, prudence and persistence has been his, or the mantra recently, and certainly I think that's going to continue to be the case today. But the markets are consolidating in front of that. That's basically what we're looking at for today. Now, we've also got US durable goods at 1:30, and that is expected to come in slightly positive at 0.5% on the month. Ex-transport is the core number that we look at, slightly down from 1.2% last month, but still reasonably positive there on durable goods ex transport. We've also got jobless claims again around 230 is the expectation there. So my chart of the day is sterling yen. Now, what we have had on sterling yen is an uptrend in the last sort of 8 weeks, 7-8 weeks, and it's continued to build, and we sort of saw a corrective retreat back last week on those that run of negative UK data, and also from Mark Carney being dovish, but that found support bang on the uptrend, interestingly also around a key breakout level, and that key breakout level around sort of 150 spot 50 to 151 area. That was sort of a neckline resistance of a breakout, and sort of the market came back to find support at that level and bounce again, and that sort of suggested that the market was sort of unwinding really. Look at that RSI back to around 50, and finding that that's where the buyers came in. You've got the MACD lines, which had sort of look to decline, but have just stabilised a bit. The stochastics similarly around 50. So it's at a key level, I think. You've also got the rising at 21-day moving average, which has been supportive of the last few corrections. So that uptrend comes in around 150, 120 today. So there is, with the market slipping a touch today, there is still the prospect, I suppose, of a little bit of a slippage. But I think this is still a market that's moving higher, and I think the yen is on a bit of a weakener now, certainly against the dollar, and also seemingly against the euro as well. So the fact that sterling is trading higher against the yen shouldn't necessarily come as much of a surprise, and I think it's going to continue to play that run. Now, there is, as I said, a near-term slip, but on the hourly chart we can see a bit of a pivot around 150, 170 area, old resistance breakout becoming supportive. So that's a bit of a near-term support, as the market has just unwound a touch today. But you can see in the momentum indicators on the hourly a much more positive configuration. I'll get rid of that uptrend. A much more positive configuration than has been seen throughout the corrective phase on the RSI and also the MACD line. So the reaction around this pivot, I think at 151.70 area, I think will be interesting. Because the market, I think, is going to start to sort of find support and then push higher again. You've got the resistance at 152.60, which has been tested on the last 3 days. You can see that in the last 3 days we've seen 152.60 being tested, and the market's just dropped back. So if the market can break above that 152.60, that reopens the highs again. 153.85 as that recent April high. So that's my expectation for a test in the coming days and weeks. And yeah, I think the bulls remain in control of this, so buying into weakness. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later.